Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here, and in today's video, I want to talk about iOS 7. And I guess this would be my review of iOS 7. I've used iOS 7 for about a week or so on the iPad 2, and I haven't figured out everything, but I've used it and I've seen enough people's reactions that I can talk about it a little bit. And so let's just talk about other people that aren't in the tech world, that aren't tech YouTubers, that aren't reviewers, that aren't journalists or anything, the general consumer. I've talked to a lot of general consumers that do not like iOS 7. Or at least don't like it yet. Summer, my fiance, actually has an iPhone 4S. She upgraded to iOS 7, and she's just like, is this iOS 7? I don't know if I really like it. And it's the same operating system, it's still iOS. If you held up iOS 6 and iOS 7, and you compared them, you'd be able to say that they're both iOS. Just looks a little bit different. And so I've seen other people on Facebook, friends that I went to college with, saying, iOS 7 is, I don't really like iOS 7. Now, on the other hand, people have been saying, I love iOS 7. It's great. I love it. It's fresh. It's an update. And, that's good. People like it. But with other versions of iOS, I've never heard this from other people. When iOS 6 came out, people didn't say, I don't really like iOS 6. I prefer to go back to iOS 5. Can I downgrade? I never heard that before. But now I'm hearing this with iOS 7. People are saying, can I downgrade to iOS 6? When was the last time you heard a general consumer ask, how can I downgrade from iOS so-and-so to the previous version? I've never heard that before. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's buggy still and people don't like that. Usually people look past that kind of stuff, the general consumers, and they're like, well, it'll be fixed. But there's just a lot of them saying, can I downgrade? I don't like it. Why is it like this? It looks different. Yes, it looks different. It's a much more lighter theme, but I don't think a change in just looks should be enough to say, I don't want this anymore. I don't know. And so if you've upgraded to iOS 7 from iOS 6, what do you think? Do you like it or do you not like it? And why? Why do you not like it? And if you do like it, why do you like it? I'm just curious because I don't know if I know. I've just been looking around and reading things, and I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing to say, why don't people like iOS 7? Some other people can pinpoint, and they think they have. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but they've pinpointed the sloppiness of iOS 7, and I can definitely say that iOS 7 looks pretty sloppy. I've been following Chris Pirillo recently on Twitter, and he's been retweeting a lot of pictures people have been sending him of iOS not working correctly or just being sloppy, things that shouldn't be there that are there. And I don't even need to go to Twitter to look. I can look right here on my iPad. We have flat icons in iOS 7. That's supposed to be the new thing. It's flat, it's minimalistic, it's clean, it's beautiful, marvelous, extravagant, all these big adjectives that Apple likes to use. And I say, okay, that's good. We have, the calendar app, that looks great. It's very flat. All these apps are very flat. We have some nice flat apps. Then we get to Game Center. Okay, rewind. Calendar app, it has the date. That makes sense. Clock, it has a clock. It's even a live tile with clock. It's actually moving. Can you see it? Probably not. The second hand's actually moving. It's actually showing the time. App Store shows the app icon. App Store icon. Maps shows a map. Let's swipe over here. Game Center. 3D colored circles with gloss on them. A glossy effect, 3D effect. It's not very flat if you ask me. Why does that, what does that even have to do with games? Why does the Game Center app exist like it does? Bring me back a felt little horse that looks like a chess piece. What is that called, a knight? Bring me that back. I don't want these colored circles. Now, I don't use Game Center anyways, but this doesn't make sense to me. We want to get flat apps, and apps that make sense, the icons. Then we have Game Center. Why? I even opened up Game Center. Why does the icon look like that? It doesn't make sense. There seems to be a lack of continuity. This does not look flat to me. This isn't flat. I could understand if this was a third-party app from somebody else, fine. Make whatever your app look like however you want. But this does not match everything else in iOS 7. It just doesn't match. Let's just open up a bunch of apps. I opened up Camera. When the camera's upgraded, I can't figure out for the life of me how to get to the settings in the camera. I can video. I can shoot a video. I can shoot a photo, or I can shoot square, like for Instagram, I guess. Take a picture. I don't know, are there settings for the iPad 2? I can zoom in and out, but I can switch the camera. There you are. But I can't find out where the settings are. Are there settings on the iPad 2? I don't know. let me know. But go to multitasking. Let's do this first. Let's go to my Android. Let's open up a couple apps here. I have some things open. I'm going to hold down this home button. I'm running CyanogenMod. Here they are in the multitasking tray. I can either swipe each one to get rid of each one, or I can press this handy dandy little button up here. They're all gone. It's like magic. Let's go to iOS 7. It's new, revolutionary. It should be able to do the same thing. There's no button to do that. I have to go like this. Or we can do this. 2 at a time. Oh, a little fidgety there. Oh, there we go. 2 apps at a time. Actually, we can do 3. Let's do 3 apps at a time. Wow, look at that. And before, I ran into a little bug where the icon sometimes stays there. Say I got rid of Score Center, Music, and Calculator, why is there not a default calculator app, stock calculator app on the iPad? It baffles my mind. We don't use calculators on iPads. Sometimes, that didn't even go away. Sometimes the middle icon stays. Like, how convenient is this? It's not convenient at all to be stretching your hand out doing this. Sometimes the app icon stays there. It didn't that time, but if you look up, search on the internet, it does sometimes bug out, and you get a bug where the app icon stays there, but the app gets exited out. Why does that happen? And just different little things, and just search around through iOS 7 itself, and you'll find little things that Apple seems to have taken shortcuts on. They boast that there is no status bar, which does look good on some apps, but if you get to a spot where you're using a white colored background app, but the status bar doesn't change from white, you no longer have information in your status bar, such as the time, your cell phone signal, or your battery. Like, what's up with that? And just overall, there seems to be a lot of bugs with iOS 7, and it does look very sloppy if you look at all the bugs and things people have been retweeting. And it seems to be pretty fast, though, on the iPad 2. And now Matt was saying this from iTech224, that he sees that the iPhone 5 running iOS 7, I think it was his iPhone 5 or iPhone 4S, runs about the same with iOS 7 as the iPhone 5S does. Now, you would think that since the iPhone 5S is newer, it would run much better. Apparently, since it's twice as fast as the iPhone 5, iOS 7 should run twice as fast on the iPhone 5S than the iPhone 5. If not, maybe a little bit less than twice as fast, but it seems to run exactly the same. Chris Perillo has also mentioned this as well. I don't have all the devices, so I can't test them out myself. I'm just going from what I've seen and heard. It seems that iOS 7 is optimized for older devices, and it's not taking advantage of the new hardware that they're putting with the iPhone 5S. And it makes you wonder, what is Apple trying to do? Do they not care about their iPhone 5S they just released? Because it doesn't seem that iOS 7 is taking full potential of all the hardware that's inside of the iPhone 5S. And so, personally, my thoughts and feelings about iOS 7, I do like some things. I think Control Center is a much needed addition. Like in iOS 4 it was needed. But I'm glad they finally got around to putting it in. And it does do very well. On the iPhone, the flash, if you have an LED flash, you have a button to turn on a flashlight. You can change your volume from here as well. Slide up and down. Brightness, easily accessible. Play, pause, turn on airplane mode, turn on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb mode, lock rotation. Very easily accessible. Notifications also got changed as well. You now have all your stuff for your calendar, or you can just go to your notifications in general. I don't have any. Still wish you could dismiss all notifications at once, but you still have to clear them per app. But, can't expect too much. And this isn't meant to be an Apple bashing video. I still like the iPad. I think it's a great device. I still think iOS 7 and the iPad, iPod Touch, and iPhone line are the greatest set of hardware and software that there is. They marry them perfectly, almost perfectly. If iOS 7 wouldn't have as many bugs, I'd say it'd be perfectly. Google and the Nexus line is slowly catching up. I think they're almost there, but I think Apple does a great job at making iOS work with the iLine, iPod, iPod Touch, iPhone, iPad. And just looking at iOS 7, I like it. I like the way it layers. I like how it looks like the backgrounds are floating above the actual, the icons are actually floating above the actual background. But it just feels like it's not finished. And I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. Personally, I don't use it as my main device, so it's hard for me to say. But just looking at it, there's a lot of apps that need updated. A lot of apps look like they're from iOS 6, and before, and a lot of apps look like they're from iOS 7. It just looks kind of messy. And they're going to have to deal with that for a while until everybody gets their apps more flattened to way. But if you have Game Center, why are people going to be changing it if you have 3D icons yourself? I don't know. And so let me know what you guys think about iOS 7. Like I said, I think it's good. I think it has potential, but it should have been finished. It's not finished. It's just buggy. I haven't been able to reciprocate all the bugs that I've seen because some of them are iPhone stuff only, but I've seen a lot of bugs with iOS 7. And, yeah, we'll fix it up in iOS 7.1 or 7.1.2 or 7.0.1, but you shouldn't have to wait for that. They had a year to work on this, and so it should be good. It should be a lot better than what it is. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'm just over the top a little bit. Maybe, my love for Android's taking me over a little bit too much. But like I said, I'm not an Apple hater. I want to like iOS 7. I really do. But some of the icons, I don't like the Safari icon. Some of the icons just look bad. What second grader is designing some of this stuff? But, no offense, second graders. Some of you are pretty good at what you do. And so that's going to finish this video. Let me know what you guys think about iOS 7. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? And do you like it or not? And let me know why down in the comment section below. Also, leave this video a thumbs up. Also, remember to subscribe for more tech and game-related videos. And check me out on all my social links. I'm having trouble. Check me out on all my social links. They're all in the description below. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.